started to bring the little drama between Yandy and Rasheeda.
Yandy started talking about how she wished Rasheeda was there for more and would have her back.
Rasheeda basically kind of paid her dust.
Now Rasheeda hands in the air, and I know when Rasheeda started throwing that big ass rock on her finger around like this, when she started doing this, she don't give a hell.
I'm not friends with you, or you.
The only one that's my ride and die right now is Kurt mother Sauce.
I'm like,
Dick was just going crazy.
you could definitely tell Rasheeda was on. Her eyes rolled back to the time Kirk wore the 3 earrings.
What confused me is how all of a sudden you such a friend and you never checked on her when the Cannon thing happened. You never checked on her even when it came alive. When Jasmine came back, you never even checked on her then. But y'all.
Turns out the more we uncover, the clearer it becomes. Rasheeda might actually be the true reflection of who KM is. Michelle, distancing herself emotionally, professed friendship with no one, an approach that's sowing seeds of pain and isolating, the very connections that once offered comfort. Meanwhile, Rasheeda has now confirmed the swirling rumors about Mendeecees' unfaithfulness, which had been gaining traction online. Emotions ran high when Kurt echoed Jasmine's earlier warnings that Mendeecees had a wandering eye, validating suspicions that many hoped weren't true. Tension had long simmered between the two, and their feud didn't just stay between them, it bled into Rasheeda and Yandy's dynamic as well. But any illusion of closeness between Rasheeda and Yandy quickly shattered when Rasheeda openly admitted their friendship was all for show. According to her, the Bond viewers thought they saw never actually existed. It was just a performance for the cameras, never rooted in anything real.
Yandy have not had that type of relationship. Like, we don't talk about our husbands, and I know people see the television side of things, and we are in the same friend circles, but there's levels to friendships. And that's the thing, like, she has her close, tight, bestie friends. Like I said, my friends, like, when I go through stuff, we're there to hold each other down. Not when the camera on, but in real life. You know, and not for a one-up to look good, because if you really felt like you've been holding me down, well, where were you, baby? That's all I'm saying is where.
Rasheeda is doubling down on her claims, once again accusing Yandy and Mendeecees of faking their marriage. She insists that Mendeecees has been unfaithful all along, even going so far as to claim he has a sugar baby that everyone already knows about. Unsurprisingly, Rasheeda's bold words have only escalated the drama tenfold. And if there's one thing people know about Yandy, it's that she doesn't play when it comes to her relationship or her family. Both women, Rasheeda and Yandy, have fiery personalities and a taste for confrontation. They've each taken their shots in different ways, throwing verbal jabs and then stepping back as if nothing happened. Despite all their differences, we always assumed that Yandy and Rasheeda would have each other's backs. After all, they're the original duo when it comes to loyalty and love. Yandy has consistently had Rasheeda's back, even when she wasn't physically present. As for why Yandy doesn't vibe with Jasmine, it's simple. Both women share a common bond. They've each dealt with men who act out and expect them to take care of everything. It's this unspoken connection that makes it hard for them to get along with someone like Jasmine. Jasmine had every intention of staying loyal to Rasheeda. However, it seems that Yandy's loyalty may have been misplaced all along. Rasheeda wasted no time turning the spotlight on Yandy and Mendeecees' marriage, publicly casting it in a very negative light on 5 mayors. The situation is messy, and Rasheeda's sharp words have only added fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, it leaves one wondering what Jasmine, her partner, or anyone in the mix would think about the whole ordeal. It's hard to get on the same page with all this chaos. Am I the only one who feels like Rasheeda has been waiting for the right moment to stir the pot? Both she and Kirk made it clear that everything Jasmine had said was a lie. So, if you bought into any of her claims, you were immediately considered an enemy. But the moment Jasmine dropped her bombshell, it seemed like the whole narrative shifted. When Mendeecees' infidelity with Yandy came to light, the truth couldn't be ignored anymore. Now, you're going to act like everything Jasmine says. Holds weight? Fine. But if that's the case, does that mean I have to believe everything she says about you too? I don't know her. She's your woman, your baby mama. You handle that and leave me out of it. Ever since Yandy found herself under the microscope for Mendeecees' infidelity, Rasheeda has been having a field day. She's not even trying to hide the fact that she's called Yandy out for trying to protect her man from the heat. Yandy, on the other hand, was taken aback, especially since Rasheeda isn't bothering to defend herself. As we've seen, Yandy's reaction shows just how unexpected this turn of events truly is. Yandy has always had Rasheeda's back, no matter the situation. But things got so tense that she and Mendeecees had no choice but to sit down with Kirk and Rasheeda to try and sort out the Jasmine drama. I've heard a lot of women talk about having videos of other women with their man, and while I can't quite understand it, I know it's not my place to get involved in anyone's relationship issues. Rasheeda, however, had nothing positive to contribute to the conversation. She initially denied knowing anything about Jasmine's affair with Yandy, but once the truth came out, it was clear she had been aware all along and had lied from the start. It almost seemed like Rasheeda herself was starting to believe some of the accusations. She even took it a step further and claimed that Rasheeda went on to say that she and Yandy were never truly friends and that their loyalty to each other was never a priority. What really confused me, though, was how suddenly she claimed to be such a close friend, especially when she never even bothered to check on Yandy after the whole Cannon situation or when Jasmine returned. It's as if none of that ever mattered. But hey, at the end of the day, I see exactly what's going on, and that's all right. And if people want to spin it and say, well, she wasn't a good friend, she's got nothing to do with it, that's on them, but Yandy couldn't wrap her head around it. She had always been the one standing by Rasheeda and Kurt's marriage, even when everyone else was against it. So why, in good conscience, would she defend someone who clearly wasn't offering the same loyalty in return? It didn't make sense. To her, especially given how deeply she had supported them, friend's child. Their friendship wasn't doing well. The two women made it a point to stay apart until Yandy vented all the resentment and anger that had been building inside of her. Andy start yelling and she's just like, "Oh, so we not friends. I'm all in that bitch's face for you." I'm not sure who stormed out first, but that was the end of the hangout. The fun was over right then and there. Rasheeda, however, wasn't about to let Yandy treat her like that. Instead of backing down, she seized the moment and used their argument to say and do whatever she pleased. With all boundaries gone, Rasheeda started spilling all the details about Yandy, and Rasheeda didn't hold back, revealing private details about Mendeecees' relationship that they'd tried to keep hidden. She fired back, dismissing them as just boyfriend and girlfriend, despite the fact they'd had 2 weddings. She also mentioned receiving multiple reports about Mendeecees potentially ending the relationship, though she kept her own observations vague, simply stating, "I've seen things, and that's all there is to it. Then let me put it this way, people have brought these things to me." Rasheeda's words hung in the air. Did you ever go to her with what you saw? Why not? Because I don't operate like that. Despite Yandy trying to pretend everything was fine, the truth was out. Everyone in Atlanta knew about Mendeecees' infidelity and the side piece he was juggling. Naturally, Kirk stood by his wife, supporting her through it all. It seemed like Kirk might have even more issues with Mendeecees than Rasheeda had with Yandy. He bluntly stated that Mendeecees needed to get his life in order. He also claimed that Yandy and Mendeecees were only trying to get involved with him and Rasheeda to stay relevant on the show. Can you really believe they were ever supposed to be friends? It's hard to imagine any kind of real bond between them. Harmony between the two couples was quickly falling apart. After seeing Kirk and Rasheeda wipe their mouths clean, dismissing what kind of man would keep another man's name in his mouth, Carlos King Mendeecees didn't waste any time reacting on Instagram. "I'm about to start disrespecting everyone," he posted. "You let your wife mention my name, then she can get it too." He went on, "I don't care about people's polyamorous lifestyles. I don't give a damn about anyone's relationships. So stop talking about mine and me." Yandy wasn't having any of it either. She fired back at Rasheeda, criticizing her for commenting on her relationship when she wasn't even in a position to judge anyone else's marriage, especially considering she was cheating on hers. If there was ever a chance for them to rebuild their friendship, it's officially off the table now. After everything that's transpired, Yandy will never be able to see Rasheeda in the same light again. Both women have had their messy moments, but this time it's Rasheeda who's crossed the line with her bold actions. It's clear. She's got a lot of nerve, and it's time for the girls to take note. Rasheeda is finally getting the respect she deserves, but this whole situation only serves to remind people of how she treated KM Michelle. Now, you're quick to believe everything Jasmine said about Mendeecees, but not about Kirk? That's wild, especially since there's no footage of Mendeecees doing anything she allegedly did, yet there's still no solid proof. I'm not a fan of Yandy, aka Luther King, but it's hard to ignore how she keeps begging for Kirk to be her only friend. I used to enjoy Rasheeda's presence, but now that her true colors have come through, people are seeing who she really is. Rasheeda clearly doesn't understand what loyalty means. But what do you think about all this? Would you act the same way? Catch you in the next video. It looks like Rasheeda and Yandy's fallout is inevitable. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. There's more content coming your way that you won't want to miss. Berries with Pepper.